Morning, Rob and Jackie. The crews just keep heading out the door. Right now, we are inside their battery room area, and I want you to take a look because all of these batteries are the ones that they have replaced since Friday. It's pretty amazing. Friday afternoon, in fact. So a lot of people with dead batteries on the side of the road. Eric Shunk joins me now. Eric, talk a little bit about this room as far as what you guys keep on stock with the batteries here.
We have almost over 900 batteries that we stock. That includes the batteries on the trucks as well. Since Friday, like you said, afternoon, we've installed over 150 batteries and warranted almost 20 of our AAA batteries out for members. This is where it's kept, a secure location, limited access, but it definitely, the covers can get bare here after a strong weekend like we've just had. So.
I can imagine that. And again, the trucks have been really busy since Friday. 4,000 drivers have been helped. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to take a look at some more safety tips that you can take while on the road during these extreme cold temperatures. We are live in downtown. Miranda Del Pozo, Fox 19 Balance News.
All right, Miranda, thank you.
Indiana Governor Mike Pence declaring a state of emergency in the Hoosier State. 29 western Indiana counties are covered in more than a foot of snow. Emergency declarations are necessary to qualify for federal assistance.
There are a lot of hidden dangers when temperatures drop this low. If your skin is exposed, you can get frostbite within minutes. Firefighters are warning about the safety of space heaters. More than 50,000 fires in homes are started by people using space heaters to get warm every year. If you're a runner who runs outside, make sure to wear mittens and headgear to cover your head and your neck.
More local news in a minute, but first we want to get a check of your weather. That was some good advice there for people.
I know, exactly. Well, I don't know many people who would run in this weather. I know a couple of crazy people who would, but most of them will just take it indoors.
Well, it's funny because my New Year's resolution was to start running again, and I did, and then it just got really cold, and now I'm like, well, I've been working out on the treadmill, but it's not the same, you know?
You can run outside this weekend. You're going to get wet, but at least it'll be warmer, huh?
Mid-40s. In fact, the running group that I lead every afternoon.
No.
Yeah.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, he was with the running group for about 3 weeks.
4 weeks.
And his dog passed away. And
Mr. Benson died, and it really set me back, okay?
Well, you should have
okay.
used your emotion to hit the road and run.
Rob, all of us deal with emotion differently. Okay? 4 below right now, everybody. Good morning to you. It is cold out there. Layer on up. Big time. Yeah, I don't got to remind you about that. Southwest wind at 8. A little down here at in around our Mount Adams camera this morning. But we've got wind chill factors at 20 to 25 below this morning. Wind chill warnings will continue at 25 to 35 below. That's as cold as it's been so far. I think as we go into the afternoon, we're in that 15 to 20 degree range. Right now, though, we are about 25 below in many spots. Radar and satellite at this hour showing clear skies. We're 2 below officially in the number. These numbers are going to start warming, air temperature-wise at least. Look at the winds right now coming out of the west and north, 7 miles per hour. Hamilton, Lunkin at 10. Temperatures 4 below Lunkin, 5 below Hamilton. But you factor in that wind. Feels like 20 below CVG, 23 Middletown, 21 Lunkin Airfield. Here we go. We're 4 at noontime. We're above 0, still feeling more like 20 below, though. And then by the evening, you may laugh at me by saying, well, it's warmer, but we are warming. And it will feel dramatically different. Still cold. You're still not going out and grilling, but 8 degrees above 0 at 5. Wind chill factor is about 15 below. Let's go over to Denise. She's watching our morning commute with those dry roads. Denise.
Well, they're dry, but you might have some icy patches out there, and we had some problems this morning due to the weather. Just working on getting this accident cleaned up. Now, this is northbound 75, just right around that 71 split. 2 semis were involved in that. One was off of the roadway, so there again, you are slow in that northbound direction if you're heading into downtown. Not seeing anything on the camera. It pretty much looks like there's a lot of lights a little bit further south of the 71 split, so apparently that is about where that problem is. So expect some delays. Cornell at Kenwood, you have an accident there, broken down on southbound 71 right around Fields Erdel. Not seeing any delays due to that, but again, just some of that normal traffic we're dealing with this morning, as well as right around Reading at Dorchester. Things have cleared up there. That was an icy patch due to a water main leak in that area, or a hydrant leak, I should say. So they've gotten that all cleared. You got the good to go there. And then northbound 71, 75 traffic picking up heading into downtown from Dixie on down to the bridge. 7:04. Back to you guys.
We're champions, and that's all that matters to me. My birthday, I can care less about that, man.
Wilson up under center.
The Florida State Seminoles are your national champions. They beat Auburn 34-31. Quarterback Jameis Winston, who also turned 20 years old yesterday, can now place a title game MVP trophy next to his Heisman.
And Jackie, a new poll this morning, 55% of Americans surveyed say pot should be legal. In the CNN poll, 44% disagree. Another 35% believe smoking marijuana is just morally wrong. Numbers show Southerners and Republicans are the only major groups who oppose the legal use of pot. And happening now, the city of Chicago deciding whether to appeal a federal judge's ruling. A judge found the city's ban on gun sales unconstitutional, citing the fundamental right to bear arms for self-defense. The city ordinances will stand while the city decides what to do.
It is the end of an era for Delta Airlines. This is a photo of the last DC-9 in service in Minneapolis-St. Paul's Airport. The airline started using the twin-engine planes nearly 50 years ago. Delta was the last major airline to fly that plane. 7:05 now. Coming up on the Fox 19 Morning News, the cooking item used to free a man from a washing machine. I have to see this
I have
now.
to see this one too. Also ahead this morning, the scary moment a crocodile almost gets a tour guide. How close the animal gets next.
I don't want to
She
see
still
that.
looks like she's sleeping. She looks very peaceful. She looks like she's sleeping. And I even think I saw her smile when they took her out of Children's Hospital.
And we've been closely monitoring this story. The latest on a teen girl on life support after getting her tonsils removed next.
And welcome back, everyone. You're watching the Fox 19 Morning News. Weather-wise, it is colder this morning than it was yesterday morning, as hard as that seems to believe.
I know. We shouldn't have to tell you. You probably already know it,
Yeah.
but you definitely want to grab all that winter gear. Have the gloves, the scarf, the hat, big jacket, the works.
Frank says a warm-up is headed our way. He will tell you when coming up. Other news now for you. The family of a teenager on life support is focusing on the health of their child.
Yeah, 13-year-old Jahai McMath now at an unknown facility for treatment. The family not releasing details because of threats to their and Jahai's life. A judge canceled a hearing for today into whether she should be taken off life support.
We're just not disclosing that, and that's due to privacy reasons and for safety reasons. She was on the ground from beginning to end, pretty much. I mean, she left in the ambulance, and she arrived in the ambulance.
The family saying her health care will cost between $25,000 and $100,000 per month.
And new this morning, a naked Australian man needed help getting out of a washing machine. What?
Okay. Please
An
continue.
ambulance used olive oil to get him out.
Wow.
The man tells an Australian radio station he was getting into the washer as a practical joke.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't explain why he was naked. He says he's upset rescuers used his favorite bottle of olive oil.
Goodness.
Problems.
Wow.
Of course, the biggest story this morning is the cold. Dan Wells is live at the zoo talking about how the animals keep warm. He has a live report coming up in a few minutes.
And still to come, a video starting to go viral shows all the animals that visit a crab net.
And the latest on a power struggle brewing on Capitol Hill. That much more as the Fox 19 Morning News continues.
Now, with the Fox 19 mobile app, you'll never have to be without Fox 19 News. From fox19.com to text and email alerts for breaking news and weather. Fox 19 News, it's all right here in the palm of your hand. No money down, no payments until June 2014. See dealer for details at Kings Mazda, kingsmazda.com. Fox 19 Storm Tracker weather is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
Good morning, everyone. The reason why we're so cold, it's called the polar vortex.
Yeah,
And it's not a term that, sometimes people think us in the meteorology world just make up terms.
Yeah.
And it's not a term that we made up. It's
It sounds-
actually
It's valid.
a valid weather phenomenon that happens every once in a while.
It sounds ominous.
Yeah.
Well, here's so low pressure centers. We've always talked about that. Ready? Here's your weather lesson. Everybody come on in, put your pencils down and listen. You got a low pressure center. Check it out here. It has a counterclockwise flow. As we talk about this, it'd be great to put the graphic up. I like my visual art tools for my class.
There we go.
Thank you. Okay, so here we go.
Spiffy.
So you got a nice big area. Now this is a big old deep low pressure system here. You got a good counterclockwise flow around this low. The low is centered a little bit to our north in the Arctic of Canada. And what happens, you combine that polar vortex with the jet stream as it dips far south, that jet dividing the warm and cold air. Not only does that usher in the colder air, but this low just adds as an intensifier and continues to pump down all that Arctic air, 30, 40 degrees below zero in portions of Canada, pumps it down right in to the nation's midsection and a good portion of the country. And thus you get temperatures at 12 below Minneapolis, 13 below Detroit. But with that strong flow around the low, it also intensifies our winds, and that's why we've got wind chills in that 25 to 30 below range. I mean, Indianapolis yesterday was down to 40 below, 50 below in portions of Minneapolis, Minnesota yesterday. So the bottom line is the cold air is here, and it is going to be slowly leaving us through the day today. We'll be about 10 degrees warmer by 7 p.m. tonight compared to where we are now, where we're at 6 below. 20 below wind chill factors. A cold, cold day out there. 5 below Fairfield now, 5 below Batavia, but you factor in that wind, it feels like 19 below Rising Sun, feeling like 24 below Batavia and 25 below in and around Mason this morning. So that strong north flow continues, but as you watch your timestamp top of your screen, notice we stay sunny and dry across the tri-state and metro Cincinnati. That jet slowly lifts a bit tomorrow. Now tomorrow, who would have thunk it that we would get excited for 28 degrees? Yes, it's going to be 28 tomorrow. Feeling a lot better tomorrow afternoon. Moisture is going to start coming out ahead of a front, though, a warm front, and going into Thursday. Fizzling out a little bit here. I don't expect a lot in the way of heavy snow or rain, but we could get a little light rain-snow mix going into Thursday afternoon. So we're about 5 below during the 7 a.m. hour, 4 above by noontime today, a sun-cloud mix. Clear skies then into the evening, a few high clouds and 8 above. It's going to feel more like 10 below, though. Overnight, we'll have wind chills below zero at that 8 to 10 below range. And then improving. So 9 for the high today, 9 for the low tomorrow morning, 28 then going into Wednesday. A chance of a shower late tomorrow evening. Best chance for some light snow Thursday, a little rain mix. Again, very light, 36 degrees Thursday. Look at that warm up. 45 Friday, Saturday 49. By Sunday, we're at 45. Saturday does look wet, but some of that rain will be a good thing. Wash away all that dirty salt. 17 after 7. Here's Denise Johnson. She's watching Good Morning Commute, sponsored by CarStar. Denise.
Well, starting to see some slow traffic out there and a few more accidents popping up as the volume of traffic is building as well around the tri-state. Have a broken down car, which we've hit several of these this morning, right at Broadway and Reading. So watch for that. An accident if you're heading out, a couple of them. Western Hills Viaduct. Now that's between State and Spring Grove. So you've got a problem there. That's going to cause some problems for you getting over to 75. Queen City at Sunset, another accident there. Let's take a live look outside. Now, right now you're looking 71, 75. It's 10 minutes right now. And there was a broken down car causing a little bit of a problem on 71, 75, 75 right up around Newman Way. No problems there. 71, things picking up right around the Kenwood Town Center and especially right around 275 heading south. No issues or delays. 471 starting to build in that right-hand lane. It's 7:18. Rob and Jackie.
All right, thanks, Denise.
Thank you very much. Even though animals have fur coats, this weather can still be dangerous for them.
Of course, yeah. Fox 19's Dan Wells is live at the zoo with a look at how it cares for its animals. The big question is, how do they deal with those animals who are used to warm climates that are like in the safari and everything like that?
Yeah, good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Rob. Those warm climate animals right now are inside buildings here on the Cincinnati Zoo campus. They have been inside for a couple of days and probably will be until we at least get above freezing. Now, I can tell you, we talked to zoo officials yesterday, and they have a full crew dedicated to making sure all the animals are safe, including 4 on-site veterinarians and dozens of zookeepers. I do want to show you some video of the animals here on campus that actually enjoy this weather. We are talking about penguins, otters, some wolves, even, believe it or not, pandas. And I was kind of surprised by this one. A camel actually loves this weather. We caught up with Thane Maynard about what his crew is doing to make sure everybody is safe. Take a listen.
We have over 500 species of animals, from teeny ants and termites all the way to rhinos and elephants. And we have thousands of individual animals. Naturally, the keepers every single day, whether it's summertime or wintertime, come in, check on their animals, make sure everybody's safe, and work up and feed them and care for them. So this time of year, folks come in early, they check on the heating system, make sure all the systems are working, and we go from there.
And of course, the zoo does open today at 10 o'clock if you do want to come down and check out everybody inside some of the buildings and also see some animals outside. Again, everybody is being taken care of. And coming up in the next half hour, we're going to give you some really important information on what you should be doing with your pets at home. That's coming up in a half hour. Live in Avondale, Dan Wells, Fox 19 Balance News.
All right, Dan, thank you very much.
Target as well, and avoidance of all the other hits. See my arm there.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, I was not ready for that at all. I was looking at the other alligator. Okay, well, have you seen this incredible video posted to liveleak.com? It's from the Northern Territory in Australia. A couple weird stories coming out of Australia this morning.
Man.
You can see a tour guide pointing out saltwater crocodiles, and suddenly one jumps into the air
With its
and
mouth
almost
open.
gets
Yeah.
his arm. Wow. Oh, this isn't scary at all. Okay, another viral video. This one called "Day in the Life of a Crab Net." An Australian
scary for
fisherman
you.
wanted to see what it's like to be his bait. Go with the help of his GoPro, and he made this YouTube sensation. It's pushing 800,000 views in just 3 days. Wow.
In other news now for you, a power struggle brewing on Capitol Hill over unemployment benefits. Senate Democrats are scratching for votes. They're trying to pass a White House-backed bill that renews the benefits for long-term jobless people. Supporters need to get 5 Republicans to get on board.
I do think, though, that the longer you have it, that it does provide some disincentive to work, and that there are many studies that indicate this.
I think it's a little insulting, a bit insulting to American workers when Rand Paul says that unemployment insurance is a disservice. They want to work.
A test vote will happen later today. It was pushed back because of the winter weather. A former teacher who had sex with a 12-year-old student back in the 1990s is back behind bars this morning. Mary Kay Letourneau was arrested for driving on a suspended license. Letourneau was jailed after failing to appear in court. She first made headlines in the 1990s when she had sex with her 12-year-old student. That's him right there. He's older now. She was 34 at the time. That's Billy Falau, her husband.
Yeah, they've been married for a bit.
They're still married
Yeah.
and have a number of kids. She married him when she was released from prison back in 2005.
An update to a story we've been following. Janet Yellen is now head of the Federal Reserve. She was easily confirmed by the Senate. Yellen is the first woman to ever lead the Fed, and her first day in the job is February 1st. Newtown Public Schools getting a $2 million grant. The money will go to help the school district recover from the Sandy Hook shooting. Newtown already received $1.3 million. The Department of Education says this latest grant will go towards supporting those who are grieving, tutoring, and security.
Good morning, everyone. It is 7:23. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Same story, different day. It is freezing outside. Current temperature is 6 degrees below zero.
AAA is staying busy in the cold weather. These are all the batteries crews have taken out of frozen cars.
Wow. Ooh, starting to pile up there. And animals are very vulnerable during frigid temperatures. Zoo workers are making sure animals at the zoo are staying safe. Make sure you're checking on your pets as well.
And happening today, a test vote will be done for a Senate bill about extending unemployment benefits. The winter weather pushed that vote back.
That's what you need to know to start your day. We'll be right back.
Balanced news in high definition. The Fox 19 Morning News.
Welcome to Fox 19 Morning News at 7:30. I'm Jackie Jane.
And I'm Rob Williams. Good morning, everyone. This morning is colder than it was yesterday, if you can believe it.
Yeah, right?
I know.
Because I thought yesterday was pretty cold. The other thing, though, is I think we're used to it, Frank. We had yesterday to prepare for today's weather.
That's what I said. I walked out the door yesterday, and it was like, whoosh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. And then I walked out this morning. I was like, all right, all right. And then I was like, I'm okay.
And then you were like, what?
I'm okay.
I don't know.
Wait, we're not doing that again. We're not doing that again.
It's like a cartoon over here.
I know. After these messages, we'll be right back. Hey, I want to show you some of these photographs.
Yeah.
This is Lake St. Mary's, and you can see this repeated across a good portion of the nation. This is about 2 hours north. Don Johnson, our audio engineer, sent this to me moments ago.
That's nice.
Yeah, about 2 hours north. And if is Don in the audio booth, maybe he can give me a little more insight of Lake St. Mary's. But yeah, it's a little bit just to the north of us.
Beautiful
and then
shot, though.
This picture from the Ohio River, Michael Anderson, who is with our Cincinnati Reds, doing all the PR work over there for our Reds, always a guest on the show. He sent this picture to Facebook yesterday.
Is that amazing?
That is yeah.
creepy,
It looks like something out of a scary Scooby-Doo movie.
It really does.
That's what I was just thinking.
Right, with
yeah.
all the steam coming off the river there.
You know, I've always wanted to take a trip on a barge like that.
You know what?
Like, do a story.
A friend of mine did that when I worked in the Thriving Metropolis Market of Parkersburg, West Virginia. A friend of mine did a story. She rode on a barge from Parkersburg, like down to St. Louis.
Really?
And like, yeah, that was before you had all the technology. That would be great.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Seems like the food would be really good. Like
We should send you off on one for like a week and a half. I can anchor, and you can do it. It'll be good.
See how he's always trying to get my job?
And then I'll pay somebody to push him off.
He's joking.
Wind chill factors this morning, 15 below. I'm kidding, kids. 30 below earlier this morning. I think now and into the afternoon will be between that 20 to 25 below zero range for us with the wind chills. Above zero by noon, that's good news, temperature-wise at least. Thursday, I've got some light snow, nothing substantial. Temperatures at this hour, 2 below Batavia, 5 below Hamilton. We're 6 below in and around CVG. But you factor in that wind, it feels like 19 below Hamilton, 20 below CVG. So things have not improved. It's not a day to, go outside and do things outdoors yet. Tomorrow will be much better. We're 26 below by 11 this morning. But notice, into the evening, winds die down a bit. And as that temperature gets above zero, we improve. 12 below. The wind chills tonight will be between about 8 and 12 below. And then getting into the day tomorrow, still feeling around zero mid to late tomorrow morning. But by tomorrow afternoon, feeling much more like our air temperatures. So we're 4 degrees at noon, 6 above at 5 with a wind chill of 16 below going into the afternoon and evening hours. Our time right now is 29 after 7. Here's Denise. She's watching your morning commute, sponsored by CarStop.
Well, dealing with a few more problems around the Tri-State, so it just depends on what direction you're heading out. Now, there's a new accident reported on southbound 71 right around Field, Durham, Mason, Montgomery in that area. Not seeing it on southbound 71. They were just moving the cameras around. That would be Artemis. They were just shifting things around. Didn't see anything out there. So, again, just be aware that that's out there. Western Hills Viaduct, there's an accident there at between State and Spring Grove, as well as serious accident on Queen City at Sunset. So watch that in that area. Again, some emergency vehicles on the scene. You might want to avoid either of those areas this morning. Broken down car on Broadway at Reading that might cause you some problems. A lot of broken down cars. There's also one northbound 7175 right around Kyles. That has cleared out of the way. As far as the travel times go, things looking pretty good on 71 if you're heading in that southbound direction, and on 7175 starting to see those delays. 12 minutes right now is your travel time. 7:30. Robin, Jackie, back to you.
Thank you very much. The cold weather is causing a lot of problems for drivers.
Yes, Fox 19's Miranda Del Pozo is hanging out with those crews this morning, and you said they've been collecting a lot of dead batteries, right?
We saw those.
Yeah, 150 dead batteries, if you can believe it, since Friday. In fact, 4,000 people have been helped on the side of the road as these trucks just pull out and pull up in the nick of time. In fact, I just got a tweet from Jay Davis that said, shout out to AAA. I'm a member. They had to tow my dead truck last night in frigid below zero temps, and we're hearing stories like that from all over the Tri-State. So AAA does have some tips for you this morning if you have to head out. We know it's better to stay inside, inside, but if you do, here are some tips. Make sure your battery has ample starting power. At 0 degrees, the battery loses about 35% of its power. Check your tire pressure to prevent a flat. Park in a garage if possible. To avoid frozen locks, you can buy a lubricant that's available at most auto supply stores, and keep your gas tank at least half full to avoid a fuel line freeze up. So again, at least 4,000 people helped since Friday, 150 batteries in the battery room that they've changed out since Friday. So a lot of people needing assistance during these cold temperatures. We're live in downtown. Miranda Del Pozo, Fox 19 Balance News.
All right, Miranda, thank you very much. You know, the polar vortex continues to cause delays at airports across the country. Let's take a look at how things are going right now. I pulled up the website for CBG. There are a lot of flights departing on time, and there are a lot of flights arriving on time, but the problem happens when you travel to cities like Chicago. Chicago's O'Hare Airport just yesterday had to cancel 800 flights, Chicago receiving about a foot of snow. Many airlines hoping things will get back to normal at about 3 this afternoon. A water main break in Ohio State Capitol forced residents and workers in the downtown area to scramble last night. Take a look at that. Crews had to shut off the water and work to salt frozen roads. They froze over quickly. The Columbus Department of Public Utilities advised customers in the area to boil their water until further notice.
A local mother is charged with attempted murder after her infant almost drowned in their bathtub. 27-year-old Jessica Whitehead appearing in court later today. Officers say they found her 7-week-old daughter floating in a bathtub in Over the Rhine. No word on the toddler's condition. New this morning, one of the football players found guilty of rape in Steubenville is out of jail. He was let out of juvenile detention sometime this week. A lawyer says his client is a better and stronger person and is asking for privacy. The teen spent less than a year in a juvenile detention center for his crimes.
And come take a look at this video from Utah. This is dash cam video from a Utah Highway Patrol trooper, Nolan Kurtz, from his cruiser last month. The driver of the semi loses control, hits the barrier on the interstate. Kurtz says he was on his way to an accident when he was almost hit.
I realized that if I'd just been maybe 30 feet ahead, that I probably wouldn't have been going home that night. It shook me up a little bit.
Kurtz says the driver admitted to being distracted at the time of the incident. No one was hurt, though.
And shocking video out of Boston this morning. Live Leak posting this gas station security video. You can see an employee working near a pump when a car drives right into him. A fire then starts where the pump once stood. The employee was taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay. That's just bizarre.
That really is.
And if you've ever used Siri, you know that sometimes she can get a little bit sassy.
Yeah, if you ask Apple's voice system who Samantha is, or just ask about Her, she gets mad. Now, Her is that new movie starring Scarlett Johansson as an artificial intelligence unit. So we're going to check it out. I'm going to ask Siri now, are you Her? Hold on.
That worked great, Rob.
Yeah.
So anyway, last
yeah,
night
what are you doing?
I went out and,
hold on, we can do it on my cell phone here. Okay, we're all failing. Hold on,
you know,
hold
maybe
it.
we should have had
Hold
a
it.
meeting on this.
Siri,
Are you Her?
Samantha?
No, her portrayal of an intelligent agent is beyond artificial.
See?
You just sound like a hater, Siri.
We don't want Siri to say anything that
Is that so?
can't be broadcast.
Siri, we got to cut you off.
Yeah, Siri, we're turning you off now.
Hold on.
At least she's working.
You just...
Siri, who is Frank Marzullo?
Here is what I found.
That's it.
Oh,
it came
Here's what I found.
Well, just so you know, I have a feeling he's done that before and asked Siri that question before.
It's great fun at parties.
Let's take a look at our web video of the day, shall we? The Old Spice TV ad that's causing a lot of talk on the internet. Take a look at this.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see it coming, but it came in a can. Now my sweet son's braid into a man.
Mine too, and hey, we know just who to blame.
When our sons have fun with women and misbehave.
Old Spice, braid a man on my son.
I think this is creepy.
I thought it was so funny. I was at Holy Grail. This came on during the Bengals game, and
I saw that. That's when I saw that.
But no one could hear it, but I could pick up on what was going on. I was like, this is
super
crazy.
creepy. It's creepy.
It's
kind of
Old Spice
funny.
is a brand that a lot of, you think for your dad.
Sure.
And for
So I think they're trying to go for a younger.
And that gets everybody,
Trying to go for a younger demographic.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny.
It's memorable, I'll tell you that. Let's take a look at Rob's riddle, shall we? The question this morning is, what group scored a #1 hit with the song Wedding Bell Blues in 1969? Think about that. We're back in a moment.
Meteorologist Frank Marzullo and Fox 19 Storm Tracker weather.
Hi, everybody. A live look from our Fox 19 Skycam network. We're 5 below at this hour from our Maple Knoll Communities camera. And as you take a look this morning, the bottom line, friends, we are not warming up much. We will stay in this range over the next couple of hours, but slowly but surely by noontime, getting up to about 4. I'll have the 7-day forecast on the flip side of the next break. You'll see 50 degrees in that forecast. 1 degree at 11 a.m., 4 at 1. We're 5 at 3. Mind you, wind chill temperatures, it's still feeling more like 10 to 15 below this afternoon, as opposed to 25 to 30 below where we've been this morning. That's an improvement. And the 8 above at 7 under a clearing to partly cloudy sky into the evening hours. It's 40 after 7, the 7-day outlook coming up. Now here's Denise Johnson tracking your traffic, sponsored by CarStar. Denise.
Well, the accidents just keep popping up around the tri-state, as well as broken down cars. Now, if you're heading out, a new accident over in northern Kentucky, Industrial Road, right around Turkey Foot. Just watch for that if you're traveling through that area. Still dealing with the accident southbound 71, right around Fields, Erdel, Mason, Montgomery, in that area. Again, watch for delays. the Western Hills Viaduct. You have one between State and Spring Grove there as well, and on Queen City at Sunset. So you've got some problems there. And again, you might want to avoid a couple of those areas just to avoid delays. Northbound 7175 hitting those brakes from Dixie on down to the bridge. That's the slowest traffic I'm seeing around the tri-state. 74 looking good right around Coleraine heading inbound. 75 and 71, you're still dealing with just some normal traffic, but really no slow spots. 741. Robin, Jackie, back to you.
Thank you very much, Denise. Good morning once again, everyone. Happening today across the tri-state, Crone Conservatory holding its end of the holiday show plant sale. You can stop on down to the conservatory anytime from 10 until 5 tonight.
Also tonight, a special presentation at the Erlanger City Council meeting. The K-9 officers will be getting new vests. It's tonight at 7 on Commonwealth Avenue. Happening today across the region, state officials will release the newest revenue numbers for Ohio casinos. Revenues changed only a little bit in November. Overall, all 4 Ohio casinos drew at least $758 million in 2013.
And Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell officially filing for re-election. He's filing his paperwork later today. McConnell is seeking a 6th term, but faces a challenger in the Republican primary. And happening today across the nation, actress Amanda Bynes will be in court. She must report for a pretrial hearing. She was recently charged with a misdemeanor drunk driving count. Last year, a judge found her mentally capable of standing trial.
And today in Washington, senior lawmakers trying to put the finishing touches on a $1 trillion spending bill. The goal is to finish writing the measure this week. Lawmakers hope the House and Senate will vote before a January 15th deadline to avert another shutdown. 7:43 now, still to come. We are learning what you can do to make sure your pipes don't freeze in these Arctic temperatures. Some great advice.
And Dan Wells is talking about how animals at the zoo keep warm as the Fox 19 Morning News continues. Now the answer to Rob's riddle. What group scored a #1 hit with the song Wedding Bell Blues in 1969? The Fifth Dimension with Marilyn McCoo. Do you remember her? You're too young. She used to be on Solid Gold. She sang all those songs. Coming up with the correct answer this morning is Cassie Lynn Ashcraft. She gets 4 tickets to the Cincinnati Wedding Showcase Saturday and Sunday at the Sharonville Convention Center.
Fox 19 Storm Tracker weather is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
Meteorologist Frank Marzullo and Fox 19 Storm Tracker weather.
And good morning. A live look right now from our Banshee camera at Kings Island. 6 below zero at this hour. 6 below. We are going to improve. We do have improving temperatures as we work throughout the afternoon. That's the good news. However, right now, it is downright frigid. That is for sure. And as we work through the afternoon hours today, those numbers will eventually get above zero. Out and about at the airport now, we are looking at temperatures out at CVG. Yeah, about 6 below. Factor in that wind. That wind chill factor this morning has been in the 19 to 20 degree range. That's what it feels like on the skin right now. Around Metro Cincinnati at this hour, we're 2 below. Walton, 5 below. Mason, 5 below. Batavia. Factor in a wind, 24 below Batavia. 19 below Rising Sun, 24 below in around Cold Rain. The wind chills will subside a bit late this afternoon and evening. Still double digits into the afternoon as that strong northwest flow continues. Into tomorrow, that jet stream starts to move a little bit to the north. Couple flurries, maybe a light flake late tomorrow evening. Otherwise, I'll watch a little moisture here back to our west out ahead of a warm front. That could bring us some light snow showers tomorrow afternoon in to, oh, pardon me, not tomorrow afternoon. I got my days mixed up. Into Thursday morning, into Thursday afternoon, some light snow showers and a few raindrops. I'm just trying to rush the week ahead because the weekend I've got temps in the 50-degree range. That's where we want to be. 5 below, that's been the temp during our 7 a.m. hour. Notice a partly cloudy sky into the afternoon, 4 at noon. By 5, we're at 8, and then by 7 tonight, we're at 9. We'll stay around 9 on the overnight tonight. And then 28 degrees for your Wednesday. 36, we're warming it up. Some light snow, a light rain Thursday, mostly cloudy Friday at 45. Rain moving in Saturday and Sunday at 49 degrees. We're going to wash away all that dirty salt. 48 after 7. Jeff Creighton's up next with the weather duties. I'll see you back here at 9. Now, here's Denise Johnson. She's watching your morning commute, sponsored by CarStar.
Well, still dealing with a couple of accidents around the tri-state. We've had a few out there this morning. A new accident that was over on Industrial at Turkey Foot. So again, and then just dealing with a few. It looks like they've cleared that. Let's jump outside, take a live look outside at some of the hot spots. We have 71, 75, really not looking too bad as you're heading from Dixie on down to the bridge. Slowest spot I'm seeing. Normally it would be bumper to bumper on 75, right around that Ronald Reagan merge. Things are moving well, so no issues there. Heading in northbound 471, everything is looking pretty good. Traffic is still moving just a little slow in that right-hand lane, exiting off onto Fort Washington Way. Southbound 71 around Pfeiffer, no issues as you're heading into downtown. The interstates, all but 71, 75 are looking pretty good. 749, Robin, Jackie.
All right, thanks so much, Denise. Happening today, you actually may remember this story. It was a few months ago. The man who slapped a toddler on an airplane begins his prison sentence now.
Yet Joe Hunley will be behind bars for nearly 8 months. Last year, Hunley was sitting next to a woman and her son on a Delta flight. The toddler started crying. Hunley called the baby a racial slur and then slapped the baby in the face.
Happening today, students will return to a short school day at Arapahoe High School in Denver. It is a school where a student was killed in a shooting last month. Claire Davis was killed when 18-year-old Carl Pearson opened fire in that school. Police say Davis was not Pearson's intended target. Seniors say they are proud of their school despite the shooting.
As seniors, that it's like even more so our responsibility to say, like, we've been here for 4 years and we know how great of a school it is. Yeah. And like we want people to still like feel free to love the school. And
the seniors are giving a big thank you card to staff members first thing this morning for helping them through such a trying time.
And our Dan Wells is at the Cincinnati Zoo this morning.
Yeah, he's taking a closer look at how the zoo takes care of its animals. So we're going to check in with him right now.
You sure
look
cold
yourself, so.
It is very cold outside. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Jackie. You know, we were thinking about the animals yesterday in the newsroom and what zoo officials do with them, especially the warm climate animals. And the reason we have this shot right now is because I want to show you some of the buildings on the zoo campus right behind us. That is where a good majority of the animals here at the zoo are located. They will be inside for at least a couple of days until the temperatures get above freezing. Again, I want to also show you some video of what we gathered yesterday because, of course, that is not the case for everyone. A lot of animals here at the zoo love this weather, including penguins, otters, wolves, and believe this or not, camels. Apparently, camels love hot weather and cold weather. We caught up with Thane Maynard about his crew getting ready for this winter weather. Take a listen.
We have 4 full-time veterinarians that work here at the Cincinnati Zoo, and they do rounds every day of the year, including today. And they work directly with our keepers, so we make sure to watch for any behaviors or any symptoms or any lethargy, or if animals are off feed, to make sure that all of them are taken care of. So whether they're young or old, we pay a lot of attention to them, and especially when it's cold like this, we want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah, definitely good advice. We want to make sure your pets at home are safe as well. So take a look at this graphic that we made for you. It is cold weather pet safety tips, the first of which is to provide adequate shelter. That is mandated by law here in Ohio. Also, beware of antifreeze and rock salt, because although that may be enticing to animals, it is certainly poisonous to them. And dry off any wet pets, because a wet pet is certainly a cold pet. All of that information, by the way, on our website at fox19.com. We're live in Avondale, where my mouth is now freezing up. Dan Wells, Fox 19 Balanced News.
I can imagine, Dan. Get inside. Thank you very much. Local animal shelters are urging people to keep their pets in mind as well. But not all animals are required shelter in these conditions. These Boone County horses spent the entire day outside, upsetting one neighbor. But there's no law that requires them to have shelter. Experts we spoke with say it's common sense to take care of your animals.
Anytime that the National Weather Service issues any kind of advisory, they must bring their animals inside. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
That's Dan Evans with the Kenton County Animal Shelter. He says if you leave any animals unattended outdoors, they will take your pet, and you could face time behind bars.
Well, it's very cold. Thanks, Rob. Well, it's very cold. You're probably well aware of that now, but these temps can cause pipes to freeze and burst, and we don't want that to happen to you. So we brought in Tony Dunaway, who's been working at Roto-Rooter for 25 years. Obviously, you're a professional, but the funny thing is, this can really happen to anyone. You said this happened to you yesterday?
No, this morning.
It was this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, I have my master bedroom of my house is above my garage, and the garage isn't heated. I went to get a shower this morning to come in here, and the drain line is frozen, so my bathtub won't drain.
Oh,
so as we
no.
speak right now, the bathtub's full of water.
Did you get a shower?
Oh yeah, got a shower.
Okay, so you just went to the other room. But yeah, it can really happen to anybody. But I do think a lot of people, they're like, ugh, it's another burden. I don't want to deal with it. But it's really worth it, because it can really cost you a lot if you don't take the proper precautions, right?
Oh, sure. It can be very expensive to have any kind of unexpected, home emergency happen.
But I think people are like, oh, it's just a little crack in the pipe. You know what I mean? But that can lead to what?
Well, it can lead to a lot of ancillary damage. Your water can, once the pipe freezes and bursts, water's shooting everywhere. And a lot of times it happens at night when you're asleep, and you don't realize it's happening. So you can get a lot of flood damage, a lot of water damage before you even realize what's going on.
All right, so what do you need to do?
Well, if anything that's going to be on an outside wall, any kind of plumbing pipes, a water line, a drain line that's on an outside wall, or an area like my garage that isn't heated and can get a little bit colder, you need to try to get some heat on that. You need to open cabinet doors for sinks that are on an outside wall. Try to get some heat circulating around those pipes.
Okay, yeah, let's see if we can bring up that list here. Obviously, insulating pipes, that's big.
Yeah.
So how do you go about doing that for someone who really has no idea? What's the first step?
Well, you can buy pipe insulation at Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere, and basically it's just a small piece of pipe insulation that's pre-split that you fit around your piping. That's going to help keep any kind of wind blowing on it and help keep a little bit of heat in there. That's the easiest and quickest way to do it. You can also just make sure that you've got some heat to areas that are prone to getting cold.
Okay, and then earlier we had heard rumors that you can just use heat tape. You're saying no, don't do that.
Well, heat tape is sold in a lot of stores, a lot of Home Depots, a lot of Lowe's, a lot of places like that. But it can be dangerous if it's not installed properly, and it can cause some fire. So we don't really recommend using heat tape too much.
Okay, and then you were talking about letting the air circulate, but it's also important to get the water pumping through, right? So allowing water to drip overnight?
Yeah, if you can just take a faucet and just get a small drip, that's enough to keep the water circulating through the pipes and through the drains. And that's all you really need is some movement on that water. Anytime it sits still, that's when it's going to freeze.
So circulation also very important. Yeah. And then I had one of my girlfriends, she sends me a photo of herself and she's like, it's 54 degrees in here, I'm so cold, but you're saying never below 55, right?
Well, you want to set that heat at 55 because if you're 55 in the middle of the room towards the edges where your pipes might be, it's going to get a little bit colder. So you got to give yourself a little bit of a buffer. So, you know, our rule of thumb is 55.
Okay, Tony, thank you. Some great advice there. And just ahead in our 8 o'clock hour, tips to make sure you are being safe while trying to stay warm in these cold temps. And Miranda Del Pozo is talking about problems drivers are facing as the Fox 19 Morning News continues. She's at the AAA garage. They are working away this morning, helping out folks. We'll be right back.
Balance.